Hi, my name is Solo P1 and welcome to the 2020 Silverstone British Grand Prix review. What a qualifying. Before qualifying started, I put on Twitter. You can go on my Twitter feed. You can see where I put the tweet. I put on Twitter, I said, I'm going to put Hamilton for second place, Bottas for pole. That's exactly what I said. Bottas for pole. All weekend, Hamilton has been struggling with his car. Practice 3. Practice 1, 2 and 3 struggling with his car. Let me turn my alerts off. To be fair, even when I put on Twitter, I said that Hamilton is going to get second place. Even then, deep down, I was thinking he's not going to get it. He's not going to get second place. He'll probably get third because he was not happy with that car. All weekend, Bottas has been solid. And because Bottas got pole last year, I thought, you know what? This is his time again. I'm not saying he's going to win the race. I'm saying he's going to win. He's going to get pole. And my bet for win was Hamilton. But it didn't work out that way, did it? It did not work out that way. Now, onto Ferrari. You know, if you watch my videos with Ferrari, don't worry, I'm going to get back to the Mercedes thing later on. If you know, I'm not a big fan of Ferrari. I'm not a big fan. I'm a Mercedes fan. But I'm fair. Everybody knows who comes onto my videos, sees my videos. I do fair reviews. But I've always said that the pit team, the strategy team, and the entire team, especially the pit team, strategy team, should be working at Tesco, pushing the trolleys. They should be at some garage down the road, changing tyres on a 1985 Mini. That's all the good for the Ferrari team. I've been saying it for 2 years, but today, it just solidified exactly what I was talking about. You got Vettel coming into the pits. Parks up his car. He's standing there. Okay? While his engineers, the engineer mechanics are messing with his car. Vettel's standing there and he's thinking, what are you doing? What are you guys doing? Are you deliberately trying to mess my car up for qualifying? Because I come 12th. I come 12th in practice, 10th Q3 wherever I come, but I'm not in the top 5. Charles Leclerc, he's sailing. He's got a decent car. He's in the top 5, top 6. Vettel is below 10. So Vettel's standing there in his pit room in the garage, and he's looking at the engineers, and they're standing there, literally just standing there, tinkering around with it, clueless. Don't know what they're doing. Shouldn't be working at Ferrari. Shouldn't be working at F1. They should be working at a low-rent garage down the road, changing tyres on a 1980s Mini. So Vettel's standing there and he gets frustrated. So Vettel walks over to him, moves him up the way, and he starts tinkering with his own car. Sebastian Vettel, F1 driver for Ferrari, goes over and starts tinkering with his own car. The Ferrari guys are clueless. They're embarrassment. They're embarrassment to their badge. Embarrassment to the Ferrari badge, embarrassment to themselves, embarrassment to F1. Embarrassment. Even Paul di Resta, he's a big fan of Ferrari. He's a big fan of the team. He's supported Ferrari for a couple of years. Paul di Resta. Even he's saying it doesn't look good, does it? Of course it doesn't look good. I've been saying it for 2 years. That whole team should be out. They've got no fight left. When Schumacher was there, it was a different team then. He had his team around him. That's why he was so successful at Ferrari. These guys at Ferrari shouldn't even be at Ferrari. They should not even be at Ferrari. They shouldn't even be on the wages, because I know they're on big wages. They shouldn't even be on the wages that they're on. They are absolutely right, complete morons. They are complete and utter morons. They are a disgrace. I've never saw that in my entire history of watching F1. That you see the engineers, the mechanics working on a car, and then the driver has to come over and help them. Because that's exactly what it was. I tweeted the picture. Look at my Twitter feed. Check the links below and you'll see what I tweeted and what time I've tweeted it. Just like I never thought that Hamilton was going to get pole. I never saw that coming at all. Never. But Ferrari, you're a disgrace. A disgrace. And then you're putting in the press conference, you're saying we ain't going to be competitive for 2 years. How can you actually come out and say that? You'd never see Mercedes coming out and saying that. You'd never see McLaren coming out and saying that. You wouldn't even see AlphaTauri, and you wouldn't even see Gunther Steiner himself coming out and saying that we're not going to be competitive for the next 2 years. You buried yourself right there, Ferrari. You buried yourself. Making yourself look like a laughing stock. A laughing stock. Something's got to change at that in that team. It needs a complete clear out. A whole new team, everything, complete clear out. The man upstairs, the head of that needs to go as well. So, I'm gonna get into this. Bit of practice 3. I'm just gonna go for it quick. I done a practice 1 and 2 review video yesterday. You can look at that on my channel. You can see that. That's up now. I put that up yesterday evening. So, before the practice starts, Daniel Fiat got a 5-place group penalty. Gearbox change. So that's standard procedure. He's got a 5-place group penalty. Obviously, he's got his gearbox change. So, Albon yesterday in practice 3 suffering again. Albon must be, his confidence must be so low at the moment. Any little slip, any little chink in the chain, and he's back to Toro Rosso, or Alpha Toro as they call it. Any little chink in the chain. Turn his foot off. This guy is coming to this season with confidence, Albon. Ever since Austria, when he hit Hamilton or Hamilton hit him, whatever you guys do. I'm not going to get into that. His confidence must be shot. The pressure's homing in on him. I don't care what Christian Horner is saying in the press, saying he's behind him. The pressure is still on him. Albon's not stupid. Albon saw what happened to Pierre Gasly at Toro Rosso. He knows how they roll. I said this yesterday. I'm just repeating what I said yesterday. He knows how they roll. Any more, just a little chink, any more slip-ups, and he's gone. He's gone out of Red Bull back to, because Gasly is killing it. Gasly's outperforming the car. He's outperforming Daniel Fiat. He's got the better of Daniel Fiat. Every Grand Prix he goes to now, he's got the edge. And he's actually higher than Albon. He qualified higher than Albon. Albon is in trouble. Albon needs to pull his... I'll tell you what they need to do. They need to get off his back. Stop putting in the press that you're behind him and all that rubbish. And let him get on with his drive. Make his car the same as a Max Verstappen. Because in my opinion, them two cars are not the same. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if people say, oh, Max is a great driver. Yeah, he's a good driver. He's a good driver. I'm not saying he's a great driver yet. He's still got a lot to prove. But he's a good driver. And they need to make his car the same as Albon's car, the same as Max Verstappen. Because in my eyes, them two cars are not the same. They are not the same. I don't care what they come out and say, oh yeah, they're equal. They're not equal. They're not equal. He's having problems with his car, Albon, energy recovery. The electrical issues with his car, playing up. He's all over the place. That's again his confidence going down, like I mentioned before. Vettel locking up everywhere in practice 3. Right, so we're going to get started now. As the qualifying started, yeah, I was thinking, look, it's going to be a formality. Williams usually does not make it into Q3. Don't make it into Q2. Russell done a brilliant lap. But before I even get into that, Paul de Ressel said equal with Mercedes second. He said Mercedes second. They were spinning in sector 2. Sorry, not second. Mercedes, both cars, no, Hamilton car was spinning in sector 2, losing half a second. So Mercedes, Hamilton was on these tyres. He was struggling. He was like that in practice. He was on the soft tyres and he was struggling with the soft tyres. Again, struggling this again in Q3. And that made me even more confident that he was not going to get pole. Because he was struggling with the car. It was all over the place. Bottas, for some reason, his car was planted clean to the ground. But Hamilton, he was just not happy. Understeer, spinning in cups. He wasn't happy with the car. And you could see that. And I just thought Bottas was going to have the better of him. Vettel was struggling with grip as well. He was spinning. There was a lot of wind up there. Obviously, it was Silverstone was built on the RAF airfield, World War II, World War One. So that's where it was. So up there, because it's so much meters above air level, and I mean above sea level. That's why it's so windy as well. Most likely, it's always windy at Silverstone. If there's a little wind going around in UK, Silverstone will get it the most. It's a bit like living in Scotland. Vettel struggling, Magnussen and Beckett cost him time. Albon comes out finally, because Albon at the beginning of practice 3, he didn't even look like he was going to get out. He didn't even look like he was going to make it into Q3, qualifying 3. Not qualifying 3, Q1. He never looked like he was going to make it into Q1, out of Q1, because his car was still in the garage and they were still working on his car at Q1. So basically, 8 minutes towards the end, Albon comes out. So he's there, comes out, puts a good lap in, gets himself into Q2. It was very tight, because at one time it looks like his car wasn't ready. Vettel standing there frustrated. This is what I mentioned at the beginning. Vettel standing there frustrated. The mechanics are clueless. Sitting there, looked like they were just playing with stuff, playing bat and ball with each other. It looked like they was playing flipping Pokemon Go on a Nintendo Switch. I'm sure the one engineer had a Pokemon Go, and I'm sure one of the Ferrari engineers had a Pokemon Go in his hand. He was playing with it while he was supposed to be playing with Vettel's car, but he was on his game. Vettel standing there, move one of the mechanics out the way, had a look and started tinkering himself. I'm sure Sebastian Vettel had a spanner in his hand and was doing something to his car because the mechanics were clueless. Q1. Hulkenberg had a little twitch into turn 4. Perez. This is what I think is a bit weird. Perez, he's out for 2 races at least. At least 2 races. Now, Perez, Hulkenberg scores any points at all, Perez is not going to get them. So what is the point of bringing Hulkenberg to replace Perez? You tell me. If he's not, I thought if Hulkenberg comes in to replace Perez, say if he makes 15 points, I don't know. It doesn't matter how much ever, however points he makes. Right, how much points he makes. If he makes 10 points, gets 10 points, I thought they would automatically pass to Perez. But it don't. Hulkenberg, he could come out and win 20 points, but it's still, Perez will not get them points. So basically, Perez is sitting out for 2 races and he's losing points. Now, I think that's stupid. There's no point. If Hulkenberg is going to come in for 2 races, yeah, and win 2 points, just say win 5 points, they're not going to go to Perez. So what's the point of him coming back? What's the point of him? Might as well just get Stroll race on his own, because he's going to make no difference, is it? If he's not going to give points to the team, what's the point of coming up? Hulkenberg might just stay at home at Monaco in his Monaco cafe drinking a cup of coffee, and rather than come over here, get your neck stressed up, coming back, winning a couple of points, and then Perez doesn't get your points. What's the point? You might as well just stay at home. Q1. Perez won't get there, whatever. Hulkenberg, he goes, Lando was spinning as well, again on turn 4. There's been about 8 cars this weekend that have been spinning on turn 4. Lando was one of them. So was Bottas. So was Hamilton. So was Hülkenberg. So was Vettel. So was Albon. All on turn 4. So at the end of Q1, Magnussen, Russell pulled out an almighty lap. Russell looked like he was most likely going out in Q1, but he never. Pulled out an almighty lap, just like he did at Hungary. Pulled out an almighty lap, boom, into Q2. Latifi was out, spinning. Latifi gone. So, Magnussen, Giovolsky, Raikkonen and Grosjean, Latifi all out. And Magnussen and Russell was under investigation. Basically, Russell was under investigation because when they had that incident on the track with Latifi, they said he didn't slow down. He's saying he did, but at the moment they're still investigating it, so we don't know what's going on with that, with the FIA, if they're going to make a decision or not. If they're just going to say, yeah, Russell deserved it, he got it, or he gets penalised. And it'd be a bit funny that he gets penalised because of his teammate spinning. Because that's what he's going to be. If he does get penalised, it's because of his teammate. So Q2 start, Lewis starts pitting. This is when I thought the heat is on. The heat is on. The heat is on Lewis Hamilton. Q2, Lewis comes out, does a flyer, and he spins into Maggots and Beckett. He spins and he pulls out of the lap all over the place. He goes onto the gravel. There was bits all over the track. Just as he does that, Bottas gets fastest lap, track record. Now that was a message from Valtteri Bottas to Lewis Hamilton. You spin, I get track record. And that was it. And that was just me thinking, is Lewis going to even get it? He's even going to get out of Q2. Because there was like 7-8 minutes to go. The guy starts coming out. The cleaner starts cleaning the floor. It was the red flag the session. Everybody has to go into the pits. They're cleaning up the road and the thing. And there we go. It's going to be one of them. As Lewis damaged his car. Was that debris from his car? Damage from his car on the track? Because I was thinking he's probably damaged his car. He might need a new floor. He might need, I don't know. I was thinking he's not gonna make it because it was touch and go. It was touch and go for Lewis Hamilton. He weren't guaranteed he was gonna get out of Q2. So what happened? The cars come back into the garage. Obviously the session they've got to clean the floor up. They start cleaning the floor up, and then as soon as the session finished, Q2. Now, as soon as the cleaning was finished, Lewis Hamilton came out. There was like 7 minutes to go. He'd done one lap on his own. There was no one there. He'd done obviously a warm-up lap. Then he went for a fast lap. Boom. And he come in second behind Valtteri Bottas. But Bottas at this stage was still had the edge over Lewis. He's had the edge over him all weekend. Practice sessions, qualifying sessions up to now, Q2. He had the edge over Lewis, and I was thinking, this Bottas is to lose. Before the end of Q2, Sainz was complaining that Lewis was slowing down too much on the outlap. Now we're getting this more regular in F1 now. Drivers are complaining about it was the same like yesterday with Max Verstappen. He was a bit annoyed because Roman Grosjean was on a slow lap. And he got in the way of Max Verstappen, and it's happening again. It happened again today. Lewis was slowing down through his outlap because that's what drivers do. And now other drivers started to complain. So Sainz was complaining on the radio to his team, saying that it's ridiculous, whatever. Well, he never said ridiculous. He said unacceptable. So Gasly only knocked out because basically this was a bit funny for Gasly. It was a bit, that's the way the rules are. Basically, Stroll got through. He was the last one to get through into Q3, but he got the same time as Gasly. But the reason why Gasly didn't go through because Lance Stroll passed the line first. That's the rule. So if you got two guys on the same time and the other guy passes the line first, he will go through before the other guy. So I think that's a bit ridiculous. I think they both should have went through. I know they're not going to do both go through, but they're both on the same time. So if they're both on the same time, I would have made an exception and said, look, let them both go through. That's it. Because it's not right that one goes down and they got the same time just because the other one crossed the line first. I'm just saying. So, Stroll in Q3, as Q3 was starting, Lance Stroll was coming out and saying that it was unsafe by Ferrari Charles Leclerc. So Lance Stroll was coming out of the blocks, out of his radio, out of his garage, and Ferrari sent out Charles Leclerc. Ferrari should have told Charles Leclerc. This is what I'm talking about, the strategy team. They're all over the place. They're sleeping. They must have been drinking last night. They must have got drunk because they looked like they had a hangover. The whole team looked like they was having a hangover. They just looked like zombies walking up and down the paddock. The Ferrari team are just there because they're there. They sent out Charles Leclerc. There could have been a major accident. There could have been an incident there, and because the Lance Stroll just missed him, and Lance Stroll was right. Was within his right to complain about Ferrari saying it was an unsafe release, which it was. Nothing's come up at the moment about the unsafe release. I'm still looking on the internet. I can't see nothing's come up, but they're investigating it. So, Q3 starts. Hamilton comes out with Bottas. Bottas does some fast lap. Still got the fastest lap on the grid from the Q2. Hamilton comes out and does an almighty lap of 1:24.6. New track record. So we had the new track record set in Q2 by Valtteri Bottas. And then we've got another track record, again, a new track record set by Hamilton, 1:24.6. So Hamilton, he never let nothing faze him. See, the 95% of the grid, no, I'd say 98% of the grid, yeah. If they would have had that spin like Hamilton would have had, yeah, I think that would have been them gunning ahead psychologically. They would have come out and done a lap. Yeah, don't get me wrong. They would have come out and done a safe lap. Yeah, and would have done a fast lap, but not like that. Hamilton went into the pit. He had a few minutes to reset. He reset his mind, focused, reset his mind, came out and done the fastest lap ever at Silverstone at 1:24.6. There's not many drivers that can do that. I want to see Stroll doing that. I want to see Stroll, Max Verstappen. I don't think I could see Max Verstappen doing that. I could see none of them doing that, really. The only one I could see doing that is Lewis Hamilton, and he did it today. That's how mentally strong that guy is. It's not just about speed, and it's not always just about skill. You have to have the mental capacity. You have to have the mental brain, the mental mind, strong mind to do that, and he did it. He could have come out and said, you know what, I'll just settle for second, but he never. He went for it. He didn't let nothing faze him. Even when he spinned in turn 4, he went through turn 4 like butter. Like butter. And he went and done it, and he got it. And he got a 1:24.6, and there was about 4 minutes to go. And I said, turn around to my man. I said, you know what, he's done it. He's got pole. They said, nah, there's 4 minutes to go. I goes, no, he's got pole. If anything, that is rocked Bottas. When Bottas done that fastest lap in Q2, the fastest lap, he probably thought that is never going to be beaten. And he probably thought, oh yeah, I got some left in the locker. He's still got something down there. He probably did. But after Hamilton done that 1:24.6, there was nothing left in the locker. That must have phased him. Because at the end, when it finished, he kept saying, we need to look at what went wrong. I tell what I could tell you now, Bottas, what went wrong. What went wrong was Lewis Hamilton. That's what went wrong. The data's not going to tell you that. You can go back to the garage and analyse it. You can spend all night looking at the computers and where it went wrong. Every sector by sector. You can have a printout. You can put it on your door. You can put it on the shower door. You can put it on your bedroom door where you go to sleep, looking at it and analysing it. But I can tell you now, before you start, I can save you a few hours. I can save you 5 hours of time looking and analysing it. What went wrong was Lewis Hamilton. Simple. Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton comes out, does another fast lap. Gets even faster. Another track record. And he smashes it. Gets the win. Over. He's got the pole for tomorrow. And I'm going to tell you right now. If he can get in the first turn tomorrow. If he gets a good start tomorrow. And he makes it the first turn without being hit. Yeah? I think he'll win the race. I'm going to say it now. I think he'll win the race. If he gets in that first turn without getting a hit, he'll win the race. And that's just my opinion. I just think he'll win the race. What it was a great Grand Prix qualifying. So excited. And it's going to be exciting again. You got in the second row, you got first row, you got Bottas second, obviously Hamilton with the pole. But on the second row, you got Max Verstappen in third and Charles Leclerc in fourth. Absolutely amazing. That's going to be mouth biting. I'll be biting my nails. That's what I'm going to be doing. That's what I meant to say. I'm going to be biting my nails all the way through that. Trust me. Seeing them two going wheel to wheel, Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc, that's going to be amazing. So, let's see the final standings. Let's bring them up here. We got it here. We have Lewis Hamilton on pole. Second, Valtteri Bottas. Third, Max Verstappen. Fourth, Charles Leclerc. Fifth, Lando Norris. Sixth place, Lance Stroll. Seventh place, Carlos Sainz. Eighth place, Daniel Ricciardo. So you got Lando Norris out qualifying Carlos Sainz. I bet he's happy about that. Seventh place, Carlos Sainz. Eighth place, Daniel Ricciardo. Ninth place, Esteban Ocon. 10th place, Sebastian Vettel. 11th place, Pierre Gasly. 12th place, Alexander Albon. 13th place, Nico Hülkenberg. 14th place, Daniel Fiat. 15th place, George Russell. 16th place, Kevin Magnussen. 17th place, Antonio Giovinazzi. 18th place, Kimi Raikkonen. And 19th place, Roman Grosjean. 20th place, Nicholas Latifi. To me, everybody reckons that Williams is probably the weakest car on the grid. Nah, I think it's Alfa Romeo. Not a lot of people are saying that at the moment. People are kind of bending towards Haas. No, I think Alfa Romeo is the weakest car. I think the weakest car on the grid is Alfa Romeo. Second weakest car is Haas, probably, and Williams. Then Williams is not the bottom. I think Alfa Romeo has definitely. I think he's got the weakest car in my opinion. And that's how it is. That was qualifying ending. Let's have a look if there's any videos that we can put online. Audio. Let's get interview. We've got Lewis Hamilton first, the pole sitter. Naturally, let's just do the three interviews today. We've got Valtteri Bottas, we've got Max Verstappen, and we've got Lewis Hamilton. So let's have in third place Max Verstappen. He's saying, he says Red Bull are clearly too slow, to catch Mercedes. So basically, like I told you a few weeks ago, he knows he's not gonna win the title. He knows Red Bull's not gonna win the constructors. He definitely knows he's not gonna win the drivers' title. He knows it's over. He's accepted it. He's, like I said, he's chilling, having a good time, thinking about his holidays. He knows he's not gonna. He's still gonna try, obviously, but he knows he ain't gonna. He's not winning. I think Mercedes is gonna win every single race this year. It's gonna be a Mercedes driver. That's just in my opinion. If reliability doesn't wreck them. If they don't suffer from reliability this season, Mercedes, I think that they're going to win every race this season. I'm not. It's either going to be Hamilton or Bottas. They're going to win every race this season. That's what I think. So let's go with Max Verstappen, Red Bull. Look out for the adverts, which are most probably will. There you go. Give me 1 second.
Max, a great run from you today. Not much you can do about those Mercedes cars, but how did your car feel?
I like your mask,
Thanks,
the color.
man.
It's good. Looks very nice.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, it was in general a good qualifying. We are of course clearly too slow against Mercedes, but it's no surprise there. We just tried to do the best we can. We maximized that in qualifying today, and we'll try to score some good points tomorrow. Definitely at least stay in third and. Hope for maybe a little bit more.
Is the car reacting as you'd hoped it would around this circuit through the medium high-speed stuff? Because we know it's been sketchy in a couple of the earlier races, but it looks a lot better.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I didn't really have any weird trouble, but yeah, it's just a bit too slow at the moment. So we just have to work on that. Just find a bit more grip, a bit more power, because it's both. So yeah.
For the race tomorrow, I guess taking it to these guys might be a bit difficult. Is it going to be a lonely one for you, do you think, or have the guys behind you got a little bit of pace that you're worried about?
I hope it's not going to be a lonely one purely because I can maybe put the pressure on the guys ahead, and I hope that I can pull away, of course, from the cars behind.
As I said, you got Max Verstappen even before the interview laughing his head off. cracking jokes with someone behind him. I didn't even catch the driver, but he's there cracking jokes, and he sees Will Buxton and says, "I love your mask." And he goes, "Thanks, man," like Will Buxton always does. "Thanks, man." Right, so you got Max Verstappen. He's having a good time. He knows he ain't gonna win. He knows he ain't gonna win the title, and he knows he's not gonna win the race. He's just there having a good time, just letting loose, chilling. Happy to be a Formula One driver, as you do. So we have in second place Valtteri Bottas. He says Bottas beaten to pole position by Hamilton. Perfect lap.
So when I need to go.
Advert again. 1 sec.
Valtteri, car looked great out there for you today. Where, though, did you lose the time in Q3?
Yeah, the car was really quick, as we can see from the times. It's pretty impressive, and yeah, it does feel quick around here. It's good fun, but yeah, towards the end of the qualifying, I started to struggle a bit more with the rear end of the car. Pretty much all speeds of corners, slow and high speed. So I think maybe track temp coming up, something didn't favor the setup direction I went or something, but. Ultimately, Lewis also, at the end, he had, I think, a perfect lap. Mine wasn't quite perfect. That's it.
Talk us through what it's like driving around this track. As you said, the speeds are quite incredible. We're seeing lap times we've never seen, and this is one of, if not the fastest track on the calendar.
Yeah, it's just so quick, you know. It's just, I can't explain it, you know. It's the amount of downforce the cars have, grip in high speed, the amount of G-force we get laterally is. It's incredible. It's yeah, I can't say more.
And you get to do it lap after lap after lap tomorrow. You looking forward to it?
Yeah, looking forward to it, of course. And yeah, I started last year on the pole, but Lewis won it from P2. So yeah, now I start P2. See what happens tomorrow.
Bottas really looks convincing, doesn't he? He really looks convincing. He said that Lewis Hamilton started off on P2 last year at Silverstone, and maybe see what he could do, but he was smiling. He was smiling like to say, yeah, right. Now we've got Lewis Hamilton. Pole sitter Hamilton says late changes made his car worse before qualifying. So let's play this. Definitely going to be advertisements. There you go. Advertisements. 10, 9, 8, 7. There you go.
Lewis, 91 poles, and that was one hell of a lap to come back from a spin in Q2 as well.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a really hard qualifying session. Sometimes you just want a nice, smooth sailing qualifying session. It couldn't be further from it. It was a really, really difficult session for me. I made some changes into going into qualifying, and it's frustrating, but they were worse. The car was worse, so it was a real struggle from P3. So it was a bit of a struggle, and then the wind, I think, had kind of stepped up a little bit. The temperature of the track stepped up, so it's a little bit tough juggling the balance a little bit. And then I had that horrible spin, and I didn't get the lap in. And meanwhile, Valtteri's just doing step by step, good lap after good lap after good lap, which is really, really hard to bounce back from. But the last 2 laps were super sweet. So I was so happy and grateful for them.
Your teammate said that your pole lap was perfect. Would you say so?
It wasn't perfect. It was probably 99%. It was pretty sweet. It was just, I think there was a little bit of time in the first 2 corners, turn 3 and 4. Just all day, I've been pretty useless through there. So I just managed to just get by there, not so bad through that last lap, but the rest of the lap was perfect.
Obviously, he wants to take the win from you tomorrow, starting second on the grid. With the change in direction that you've made between P3 and qualifying, do you have any worries at all that it will negatively affect you come the race tomorrow, or are you confident you have got the car underneath you for the win?
I really don't know what the balance is going to be like. once we get the heavy fuel in it. I don't think it's going to be a disaster. It does change quite a bit once you get a heavy load in, but either way, we'll deal with it. Got to deal with it the way it comes and try to make the most of it.
That's Lewis Hamilton staying positive as always, the way he should be. And that's the end of the qualifying. That's going to be, I can't wait for the race tomorrow. It's going to be, I'm not sure, look, anything can happen tomorrow. But if Lewis Hamilton, it's going to be a Mercedes win. If Lewis Hamilton makes that first corner, the first 2 corners without getting hit, to me, he'll win the race. He'll have the race pace. He's always got the race pace against Bottas. Bottas usually beats him at qualifying. Not the last couple of races, but usually he does. But yeah, that's it. That's it. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It's Solo P1. I got a little message here, just tweeted. Lando just tweeted, not to me, to everyone, all his fans. Very happy with P5 today. But the lap, I'll put the lap in when it matters. And as you can see, I am smiling. That's Lando Norris. Should put that on Twitter. That's nice of him, isn't it? See if I've got any more Twitter news. Yep. You got my friend saying that, yeah. Well done, well done. Yeah, great for McLaren, great for out qualifying Lando Norris. No, Lando Norris out qualifying Carlos Sainz, which is good. Good for him as well, for his confidence. So, this is Solo P1 Sunday night. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Twitch link, a Twitch I game 5 days a week, or 4 to 5 days a week. Look, the links are below my video, so you'll see the links for the Twitch below my video. See you guys tomorrow. But before I go, I'm going to leave you the sound of Lewis Hamilton's onboard pole lap, the pole position at Silverstone. His 7th pole position at Silverstone, record breaking. Breaking Ayrton Senna's record for the most poles at your home track. So this is Solo P1. The camera's going to go in a minute. You're going to see me disappear. There you go. This is Solo P1 signing out. Bye.